You cosmic explorers to the Cosmic Tune-Up Happy Hour here with Rebecca Gregory, and once again Anastacia is going to be joining us in a little while. I'm so honored she decided to jump back on after the beautiful show we had last week and the reboot and what had happened since that show. But before I begin, it's a bubble kind of day. So I got my bubble machine out. I don't know if you listen to my show before. Every once in a while I blow out the bubble machine. And today is really needed because I don't know about you, but the energies have been off the charts today. Cuckoo for coconuts, beyond coconuts. And sometimes a little inner child just need a little bubbles just to feel into it. Anastacia's laughing. You can't see it, but she's laughing. But you know what? Bubbles make us feel light. Bubbles make us feel happy. Bubbles make our inner child light up and joy. And you know what? That's where we need to be right now. So enjoy the bubbles. Put your hand on your heart, take a deep breath in, and just get present with this show. Have fun, enjoy. You're more than welcome to bubbles. See, Diane loved the bubbles. Thank you, Diane. And you know, that's what it's about, the joy, especially with all these energies right now, and especially from last week and what happened. And I'm going to share a real story before I bring Anastacia on. My day after our show yesterday, I took a journey to the farmer's market the next morning. And it was so beautiful for me being in the land here. And I talked about that on the show before, where I live here in Florida. And I could feel the lightness of the air. I was actually able to walk through the farmer's market and walk without, not that heaviness was gone. So the shift had happened and just brought this beautiful energy through that was just amazing. I could feel it and just free flowing, walking with no problems at all. And it was just beautiful to see that shift. So I'm standing there waiting for my friend who had gone to the restroom with my dog. And all of a sudden this man comes up and he just literally stops. And I look at him, I look over at him, I just feel his presence. And I was like, this is very interesting. So the man says, I have a husky, so the husky always attracts everyone. And he looks at me and he was talking about the dog. And then we go in this beautiful conversation about the shift in the world right now and how we're in this new 5D paradigm and all this. And I look at his eyes and they were like the cosmos. They were literally like the cosmos. And I remember he reached out his hand. He says, what is your name, Rebecca? And he says, my name is Chris. And I was sitting there kind of in awe. And I just remember him standing there. And the one thing he kept on saying was, it is here now. We are in the energy. We are in the energy. And it was kind of like a reminder of what had happened and the shift that really did happen. And it was just so, I remember just looking at him and I said, I see you. He looked back at me and he said, I see you. Keep doing the wonderful work you're doing. And he walked away and I just blew him a kiss and he blew me a kiss back. And in that moment, I took in everything that's happening, but I didn't realize what had happened. And, you know, angels come to us. And I felt that was Jesus that came to me that day. The Christ consciousness was there as a reminder of me to anchor in all the energy and all the shift that happened. It just lit me up to see that and be in that presence. So, you know, a lot of people out there, I know you're really struggling right now. I know a lot's going on and going, you know, and for me asking to see the angels, just remember, they walk among us. And they will appear to you. So always be mindful when you're out and about and taking the messages that come from you from the most interesting places. And I tell you, when this man did approach me, he was just your typical athlete, you know, with so I was totally blown off by what was expressed out of him in the image that he was showing himself to me. And so, yeah, don't judge people, you know, because, and another thing he did say, I want to say is there's more of us out here than you know. So people are waking up everywhere, and that's what I wanted to share with you. So thank everyone who's joining us here tonight, and I think I'm going to bring Anastacia on right now because she's waiting patiently. And let's see, I'm going to bring her on. Here she comes. Hello, Anastacia. Woo!
Hello.
How are you? Welcome back.
Have I really left?
No. Oh, yeah. And anybody tonight, I want to know if you have any questions, just put them in the chat box along the way, and we'll do the best to answer as it comes up, because I can't. Oh, I guess I can scroll up and down. I don't know. I'm learning how to work that thing. So, but anyhow, Anastacia. So, what has been happening with you since the reboot and planetary reboot and the follow up and everything?
Well,
share.
Share. Okay.
Share.
Well, thanks for having me.
Oh, you're so welcome. Oh my gosh.
Well, that's a big thing in itself. I'm just feeling in and tuning into the energies as I'm speaking and voicing newly to the planet. When I come into an energy space, it's clearing. So I'm just feeling all the energies of everybody. And I was listening to what you said about that visit of Chris, the Christ energies, and how angels are among us, that we are also angels among, and we are like that for others. What you've said about what you experienced with him, I've done that many times with other souls.
Yes.
Those words, that experience. So it's both, isn't it?
Yes,
there are angels that walk among, and we are angels there to let others know. And we're reconnecting again, because after the last show, where the day before on the 16th of October, I did my own, called it an event. I did my own end of karmic cycle energies, and I just can feel energies grounding in at the moment. And then that was linked. I mean, that's pretty huge. I say it very quickly. The end of the karmic cycle in the human being has finished. And I knew that within 24 hours, on my 16th was going to be your 16th. In the next 24 hours, it happened very quickly to link our two countries together with a new rainbow bridge, with you and I connecting grandmother energies, where you have been the first that's been able to hold this space with the grandmother's energies with me. So thank you for asking me. So, because we're going to kick ass, and we're going to do many more from here, girl. Yeah. So I did say that something big was going to happen. I said something big is going to happen after these lives, something big. And I ended up doing 3 videos. And what did happen is we are still in a planetary reboot. We have reached over 50% of critical mass. It has and is working. There is enough light to take the rest through for those that choose. We've reached critical mass. And Patricia Coda-Robles, part 2 of her video series that she's doing on this, is what I was guided to, and I shared an update about that. So it is very exciting. Yet in this excitement is a lot of shadow work and a lot of energies of people going through a lot and releasing a lot. And just last night and this morning, I had another breakthrough and shift just before I came on. Surprise, surprise. So if we know in our consciousness we are going through a whole planetary reboot, just feel those words, and we take a breath and a moment and allow that to come in our consciousness, that the energies to the planet of the end of repeating the old 3rd dimensional loops of old karmic energies has now come to completion for each one of us to complete our old 3rd dimensional links with others. Is that easy to understand in the way that I shared that?
For me, it is. I don't know if anybody wants to comment. And I want to say hello to everyone who's been commenting. Welcome. So anybody wants to comment if they understand that, just type on in. So
yeah. So I've been, okay, I did say to you before we come on, will I share a little bit? Yes. And here it comes. Here it comes. See, because I've been doing this for 25 years myself, by myself, being let know my mission from God is to put new words to voice newly what's never been voiced in explaining the energies has been quite a big task for me. Mm-hmm. And it's me learning to grow into what I call our mastership, and learning how to embody being a master in the human being takes a lot. Apart from knowing everything in spirit and the galactic energies and the angels, it's getting very real. Our consciousness and coming from love is how we're going to raise a vibration. That is how we're raising the vibration of the planet. So what Chris said to you was so fucking beautiful, that you're not, and it's just, I say to others, you're not the only one. You're not alone. And if we each keep saying that to each other, it's just that, I mean, look at you and I only just met. Yes. And people have already said, you're like sisters, I love your energies together. When you're in that unconditional love, it's so freaking easy.
Yes.
It's easy.
Yes.
It's easy.
It's funny you said that, because I had that exact conversation with, in talking about the synchronicities and how, I'm really finding how the universe teaches us along the way. There was a guy, I saw this RV running around town the last couple of days, and I kept on popping up. And I took my dogs for a hike through the AKA swamp here in Florida. It was like the jungle, whatever you want to call it. Oh my gosh, I was so sweaty afterwards. And so I was going to go to another park, but I was directed to go to this park, and I pull up and I hear some man talking. And it's the guy in the RV that I saw this morning fixing it somewhere in town. And I walked around and he was doing videos on anyway. So when I come back around and we had that conversation, and I said, you need to stay in the love of, and then the one was really terrified of the virus. And I said, you need to stay in the love to vibrate above it. I said, that's what we all need to be, is in the vibration of love right now to shift the fear. So thank you for bringing that up. And I just experience that right before the show.
Well, what you did, I love that. I love when that happens, and because it's the mission, you knew, you saw it. It's like, okay, here we go. What's going to happen here? And as living Christ consciousness of that love, when you felt it and said it that way, was so beautiful, because when I come from a loving space and sharing, I don't have any issues with people. I bet you had no issues, because if you want to go and preach and trying to get others to listen and get your point across, and people need to wake up and this, that, honestly, that is the 3D energies. If that's your role and mission to do that, good luck for you. But there's some of us that bit long in the tooth, I call it, been doing this for a little while behind the scenes, consciously 25 years here, that the softer, the gentler, coming from love with truth and fierceness, they will feel you.
Oh, yes. And I give both kisses too.
Yeah, I do. I give kisses and hugs and back. Yeah.
And it was that perfect union of that unconditional love that we can flow in and we can be in. And it's
it is. However, it's complicated as well. You're so right, because it starts with unconditional love with us. Now, we know these words, and I could sit here and preach and go, and it's about unconditional love and truth and honesty. And then I pull up and go, oh, just put it all in the fucking bucket. Let's get fucking real. There's so many of us that want the truth, the raw, the realness. It's hard yards. It's tough loving oneself unconditionally. And I want to say, keep going. The hardest yards, what you've already been through in life, was much harder than what you're going through now with your conscious awareness right now. Take a breath, release. There's many people and souls here that you can go to. I love the videos from Patricia Cota Robles. I love and resonate divinely pure with Celia Fenn's updates, with the Blue Beyond Guide updates. There are many beautiful sources.
Yes.
To get away from the fluff and the noise and the distractions. Other people are awakening at their vibrations, what it is for them. We're needing to move away more. We're needing to move away into the new 5D New Earth energies, the 21st and the 12th, the Anangu, Uluru energies of the ancient prophecy is the rainbow serpent, a new connection with the great sun will be coming in. That was written by Mr. Kuhn in the 60s. That is going to be a new universal galactic umbilical cord for New Earth energies to be anchored in. This is huge. Yes. Until then, we can operate in New Earth energies of unconditional love, truth, honesty, protection, boundaries. Many of us are closing those old loops, so it's really tough at the moment.
Yes.
So there's just a big shift and release coming. Can you feel that? Can you feel that?
Yes, I can.
I've just broken out in a sweat. So we're just releasing some old dross. We're going through a burning off of the phoenix rising energies at the moment. So we'll just, everyone take a breath. We are reaching old family, post-traumatic stress, trauma energies. So there's a lot happening right now. Please don't doubt yourselves. A lot of doubt has come up as well. There's old third dimensional distraction energies of old 3D loops with others, with the ending of the old karmic cycles. It's all part of the planetary reboot. I love when I shared in a post the other day, you don't fuck with someone that's been to war, because we've been to war. And what I'm talking about is the inner shadow side, deeper spiritual war behind the scenes.
Yes.
That Souls, well, big shift. With energies in the group, I'm just feeling here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll hand over to you. I'm just, complicated energies just came in that I'm processing,
Okay.
so I'm just going to take a moment and work with that.
I'll just share with me something that happened this week, talking about that. And, for me, it was my own ego and standing in my truth. I like to call it my personal fuckery I'd been doing to myself, not allowing myself to speak my truth by always staying kind of in the shadows and not speaking my truth. Let me say, I'm getting lost.
Was it being the neutral zone, darling? Would you say that's like a neutral zone? That's non-committed. Like but it's really wishy-washy, non-committal, and it's just safe. It's a safe non-committal zone. Yeah.
And then I realized it was like that personal thing I was doing to myself was I wasn't speaking even though I agreed and I didn't judge at the end of the conversation. I was online with everything, but that original point was where I fucked myself in saying that, I'm in discord with this a little bit. And I couldn't speak I couldn't say exactly what my truth was because I didn't want to judge and I want to stay behind because I was fine with what was said. But I also learned in that moment how I was putting that back on myself and not being in my truth and being in discord of my own vibration, but not saying I respect, but I feel this way about this. My belief is this way. To speak that truth from the beginning to the vibration went all the way through to the end. Are you following me?
1,000%. Absolutely. It's because we've been abused in the past. When we've spoken our truth, it becomes, this is a post-traumatic stress that we're breaking through. Everybody has suffered from post-traumatic stress on the planet. Everybody.
Yes.
So that was just from the past. A lot of people I've been working with has been the post-traumatic stress from the past of not being able to speak up. And now I'm saying to people, like you did it for yourself, don't hold back. We need everyone to speak up and be more honest because there's arseholes out there that are jerks, that are rude, that are being obnoxious. And we're so afraid to speak up just our truth that we feel, so yes.
Yes.
Good one. Yeah,
and 100%. In saying that, we also have to honor their point of view. We don't have to agree with it, though. We say our truth of what we feel, but we don't have to agree with their point of view because we don't have to get into combat who write the duality bullshit. It's staying neutral, but also stating your truth so you can be in the energy and the vibration of you.
Yeah.
And don't hold back. Somebody just says, have just discovered this for myself. So hard to speak up. Yes, Fiona, it is. It is, especially the people that have been in the shadows, but it's also looking at yourself to move past that, to say, now I can be in my truth. And this is where I require to be in these new energies. It's in that truth.
So let me anchor that in. And we need to speak to our truth to ourselves, firstly, whether we write it down, whether we consciously write it down and speak it to ourselves before we speak to others helps.
Yes.
And yes, we do need to raise a vibration. By moving through as well with those close to us that we're tying up these old third-dimensional karmic loops. It's those challenging, and I know you know this because we were talking about this before we come on, that there's different connections of people that we can do that. Then there's the ones that's closest to it, it's the toughest, and they're the old third-dimensional karmic loops we're ending, and that's where the challenges come from. And okay, there's another release happening. Big shift. I did some runes for the collective because I feel all the energies for humanity through myself in what I bring through newly and firstly to the planet. That's taken me a long time, like you, to come up from behind the scenes. And so I love when I'm guided to bring through. And the unknowable rune came. And I loved it because it came as in the position of, look, past, present, future is all now. However, I did 3 past, present, future. And the unknowable rune represents the path of karma, the sum total of your actions and their consequences, the lessons that are yours for this lifetime. And I want to pause there and say, we have never reached this far before in past lifetimes. We died other times. We didn't make it. So we are in new energies of the planet. I get so filled with joy and love with divine energies because this never loses its thrill for me. It never loses us. We've never reached this place.
And it's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm just feeling the comments, and I've still felt Fiona's, and I'm just doing a healing with Fiona and releasing.
Yeah,
Did you feel that come in? It's interesting what's happening, because we've worked out we're going to do a show in November and a show in December, and we're going to have it for people to phone in. Was that what we were going to do?
Yes, I have a call in we can call. I could have turned it on tonight, but I didn't. So we're just going to chat right now.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't ready for it either.
I know. No. We'll break next month.
I know.
Yeah, Matthew said new and different space. Yes, it is. And anchoring into that. I know before the show, I don't know about you, it took me a little while just to anchor in, I guess, because I was out and about a lot today, but I really had to sit on the ground and hold on to the trees and really to get myself grounded for the show tonight.
Well, can I share a little bit of insight? I'm going to do my weekly live, which I do every week, Blue Beyond Guide, Facebook Live, gifting all this year with Humanity's Ascension. Others are doing their contributions. And, excuse me, big shift again.
Mm-hmm.
We are creating newly. Anyone can say these words, right? Okay, another big shift. Okay, Spirit's changing what I'm to share, so I just have to stop and see where I'm being taken. Okay, no, I'm not meant to share that. That's been completely shifted, so I've got to change back in and ground back in. All I will say is there was an energy of our spirit and soul, our link with our higher self it's not broken as in permanent broken, but it was disrupted with the planetary reboot energy. So it is very new and it is very different. And please don't doubt yourself right now, because what's passing through is a shadow of old possessions. And then there's also a global shadow energy of the planet as well. As we're moving into these new energies, there seems to, because no one really knows, nobody has got a one answer for what's happening. No one fucking has it. People have got different bits of what they're bringing through, right? So I bring through, but however, I resonate on par with Celia Fenn, like very much like that. We post at the same time in her versions, and I do the below the iceberg, which is the deeper, yes. You know, and it seems there will be another earth shadow of shadow energies as we're going in new 5D energies with a new earth. It's going to be very interesting. Yet we're going to be together. We're going to be together, but two planets, and it's very interesting because no one has a one answer. So there's this global shadow energy that others are feeling as well, and we just need to have some patience, because this is also a time of waiting. Okay,
I feel you on that.
Because we need to, this is from a post I wrote in the last week. Yes. We need to remain very grounded and come home to ourselves of our own inner I am. And with that, unity with others as well, because we're all reconnecting. However, we need to come home to ourselves more and more. And there'll be more than one coming home. There'll be one initial coming home to ourselves, but there'll be other facets that we will bring in, different facets of ourselves back in, to rediscover all our multidimensional facets. To live multidimensional human being is a very big thing, but we're naturals. And what it is, people get the answers and the insights straight away and they miss it. And then we do head jobs on ourselves, which you said it's a fuckery. I say, oh, I call that give yourself a head job.
There you go.
Ah, she snorted.
I snort all the time. It's awesome.
Me too. Okay, here we go. Calm. There's a big calming energy coming in.
Mm-hmm.
We are explorers of the beyond, and I quite often say we're in beyond energies. That for me,
yes,
I'm moving away more and more. I'm going to be becoming more and more, apart from in the videos now, darling, but with the basic ascension, while others go through what they need to, because I personally shifted into 5D about 13, 15 years ago. So talk about needing to find patience.
Yes.
Oh, lots of releasing.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that's why the
There we go.
egret flew over me right before the show.
The what, darling?
The egrets, they love to teach you patience. The bird.
Yeah.
One flew over right before, so.
Oh, that's nice.
It's beautiful. It's coming up now. And I want to say too,
you go. Mm-hmm.
Feeling also allowing yourself. I was sitting outside right before the show, as I said, just grounding myself and sitting in nature. And I live right on the water, so I was just really bringing in and sitting in the stillness that was happening in that moment with the water, and just how still the earth was right before our show. And it was so beautiful to feel into my I am presence in the stillness of everything around, and being in the peace of me. And we really have to remind ourselves when things do get chaotic, because the energies, it's a roller coaster ride, to always go back to that stillness and really bring yourself back to the peace of you.
Well, staying in your own lane. It's interesting.
In your own lane, yeah.
Yeah, well, I just shared what Celia wrote, because it's all these facets of what I've shared. Again, it flows beautifully of stay in your own lane. The outside is illusion of the chaos and fear, that shadow, old energy that's shifting, and we're moving. Stay in your own lane. Yes. Stay focused on your inner truth and your peace and love in your heart, what you said. And someone else in the private 144 New Light Paradigm group on Facebook said something about, I feel really good now, but I know there's probably more to come. And I said, please don't write that. Please stop your head from writing, because just take a fucking moment. 25 years and I'm still going. And I learned over that time to not say that, is really enjoy that time and stop the head, because the fuckery and the head job is the head.
Yes.
Is head, the thoughts is the biggest area. Those old loops and cycles of the words, that's the main area. If I had to say collectively what people are dealing with a lot, is that.
Yes.
So, and I just said it's the moments that, when I was in the military, because I was in the military for nearly 12 years, 11 years, 11 months, and it was hard yards. Back in the mid-'80s I joined, right? Old age, stone age times. Women had only been in the military for 10 years. So it was very new, and it was a boys' club and a man's world. So you can imagine being the only female with like a few thousand men. It was just, hard yards, being one of the boys, but keeping the femininity and of course there was a lot of abuse, and there was a lot of all that stuff. But anyway, I had good times. It was bittersweet for me. People say, hey, did you like it? I go, it was bittersweet. I loved a lot of moments, and there was some really harsh times, yet I was trailblazing there and bringing in new rulings in Parliament and creating and being the first female in Australia in the military to march with the rifle in what we call Anzac Day. So I did a lot of firsts for females.
Awesome.
And okay, so I'm bringing in that goddess spirit warrior energy in right now. Oh, there it goes. And it's coming down through all the chakras. So please allow yourself of the divine to receive yourself through your crown energy from your soul star down through for you slowly. There's a beautiful white golden energy coming washing down us. It's a beautiful blessing. It's a divine feminine energy blessing, because with the 21st of the 12th, with the rainbow serpent link and the new umbilical cord, is a new divine feminine energy coming in with that link. So we're really being blessed with that. And now what happens is, quite often when I'm talking, when I get to share about my life, it's that vibration, it's pulsing. And so then I have to stop and recollect, what was I talking about? So it's shifting now. Anchoring in, releasing a lot of anger. So there's a lot of anger of the masculine is what we're releasing. Isn't that the truth? Because the 21st of the 12th will be bringing in a full pineal upgrade, third eye, that I've been writing about, that Patricia Coda-Roble spoke about, that everyone recently had a right brain upgrade. I didn't resonate to that. That was her information. I brought through a left and right brain balance and a pineal upgrade on the 16th and the 17th. And the masculine, the old patriarch energy, it took over, didn't it, darling? And it's devastating. It really is about the sacred union and the Sophia and the Christos energies of the inner sacred union within ourselves of our divine feminine masculine balance, that softness and that gentleness. Thank you for sharing that, Rhonda. That softness and gentleness every time is the way to go, because we're all broken.
Yes.
The world is insane. We're all insane and in it. The world is nuts. And I will say, I'll finish off this loop cycle because I'm clearing an old karmic cycle right now. We're finishing it off live, which is beautiful. Is I've noticed all the blessings that's happening in humanity, because I was just telling my brother the other day, it's 50-50 with all the virus and everything that's going on and the restrictions, that it's either people are devastated and severely affected and in fear, and then there's the other 50% that have not been affected and that are glowing and prospering. Yes. And he said, and he doesn't get into this spiritual talk like we do, but he's intuitive. You know those people that are naturally intuitive, and you just got to take away the big words and you can really connect, because love is love and truth is truth. I have that beautiful connection with my older brother. I'm so blessed to have that with him. Oh, so blessed. Yeah. And we don't talk often. But I can get that conversation. I've learned to let go of my terms and just bring it to everyone knows what energy is, and just really connect by talking basic energy. Yes. You know, love is about love. It's, and doing that. And he said, yes, it seems to be. He said he's going so well, and Australia, do you know, the state of Victoria, Australia, is the worst lockdown state in the whole freaking world. Yay, Australia! Woohoo! That's something to be proud of, because we are the Emerald City from Oz. We are Oz from the Emerald City energies. Of course, it's got to come from here, because it was said Australia is leading the planet's ascension. It's not a competition. It just is what it is. The energies are leading, and I knew that in the late 90s, and it's so good to say that now, that Australia is leading the way, and it is coming through emerald energies from Uluru with freedom, free from domination. So it's really hitting hard that the state of Victoria, Australia, is the hardest lockdown in the whole world. We've made world news. So, yes, of course, because we're doing the biggest healing for the planet, through Uluru, the solar plexus of the world. So, well, that's a big flush and release, and I'll have to come back and watch this to see what comes through, because with you, I'm in the moment and I'm just delivering, and then later on I watch and I get a healing myself as well from these. So it's really good when people comment that I'm enjoying the healing, because it gives that beautiful energy interaction, and it's 10033. So bless.
And if anybody has any questions, type them in. So
if you're lucky, you may get them answered. If you're lucky.
If you're lucky. Do I have to turn the bubble machine on again?
Yeah, go. Go. Do it. I love doing it. Go. Do it. Go. Cleansing the energies. Go.
The cosmic bubbles.
So what I was going to say was, in the military, I learned there's a saying, we worked hard and so we partied hard, because we were in such restrictions, and it was like a bit of a concentration camp for me as a female when I was abused. There was nothing in place to report to anybody, and I was re-abused by the officers in the military that put me through like a "you can't handle the truth" and re-traumatized me when I went to tell them about I was physically hurled across the room and abused by my boss, and he just fucking re-traumatized me. He said, you can't handle that. And it was just horrendous what happened.
Wow.
And that hasn't changed. It's still as tough. But back then there was no equal employment opportunities, and I became part of the equal employment opportunities for the first time in the military, for the Air Force. So big stuff back then. Big stuff. Big stuff.
And really, thank you for bringing that up right now. I mean, I know it was big stuff back then, but it's
coming.
It's still here now.
Coming.
I mean, it is at the surface right now. All this stuff you're talking to is at the surface, like boiling up, ready to go.
Well, that's why we're mentioning it then, as you said, as releasing the masculine dominance. Thank you, because I've looked, I'm in many veteran sites and that, because I've still, once you sign that line and you commit in your heart to serve because it was past life, many wars, it's for life. We've signed up for life, and I'm fine with that. So I'm in with many groups, and it's in my blood, so to speak, that military stuff. It just has been, And there are females that are still going through stuff, and you know what? It was still being swept under the carpet. At least they're going to court and they're speaking up. There was no speaking up. but it's still happening. It has. And I just looked and I'm like, you know what? 23 years ago, this happened. And I said, it's interesting to see that not much has changed. Incredible. So, yeah.
Let's see. We got love that. Yes. Bubbles. Love the bubbles. Penny drop. Thank you for this. Thank you, Diane. So, yes. And as I said, if anybody has any questions, type them in or anything they like to know about.
No, they're not getting any questions answered. You know what I find? They're happy to be in the flow.
We'll be in the flow. I like being in the flow. It's all good.
They're just going.
I know. Yeah, that was so beautiful. That sharing, and you're so true with the masculine energy and what's coming up now, and once again, those energies, and it's funny too. I've noticed too. It's not to divide between the physical, the male and the female, and I think people a lot of times get confused that it is about the energy of and bringing that energy up. And I see some of the males, like at some of the groups where all these women groups, and I had the opportunity a couple of weeks ago to spend actually with a bunch of military people, which I've never been around military people before. I went to a plant medicine ceremony, and it was all military, and that was out of my wheelhouse. I haven't been, it was just so beautiful to see these military men being in this energy and being able to process things that they've been through and stepping into that divine feminine side of them and opening and expressing it was just, I just felt so honored to be able to witness that. And I really feel as females, because we do kind of connect that we really need to hold that space for men right now, so they are able to express that side, which that has been shut down for them for so long.
That's such a good point. They've been through a lot of abuse as well. Thank you for saying that, because it's reminding me and for me to remember, because in the group that I've got running in Facebook, we have males in there. We've got about 4 or 5 males in there. It's just beautiful to have the energy, and we tend to forget, or people forget, or I forget, I don't know, about those males that have also been through a lot of abuse as well.
Yes.
It's 50-50, same thing. There's no whatever. It's human beings, male or female. But let's also remember, as you said, and a couple of males that I was in the military with that didn't know what I went through in the last few months this year. I've messaged with them and shared bits, and I think there was 3 of them who served with me at the time and said, and they called me Anna because I was called Anna then. They were just, one of them went so angry. He had no idea what I'd been through. If he knew, because back then, contact counselling was the way to go. Do you know what contact counselling means?
No.
When someone was being a dickhead, they would take him out the back, sort it out, pull their head in, and get back to work. That was contact counselling. That was the old days of doing things. Okay, so he said if that was a day, I would have taken him outside and given him some contact counselling. And the others were just horrified. They said, we had no idea this was going on, because I had to hide it. I had to show up, and bruises covered, and injury, and neck and back damage, and all this sort of stuff. And then another one, though, shared with me the abuse he suffered by a male boss that I didn't know of in a similar section. And I'm like, I was shocked. And he said, yeah, he'd come by and he would just punch me as I walked past, punch me in the head and the ear. I'm like, what the fuck? What guy does this? And he did it to him repetitively. Yeah, so yes, darling, the guys with the abuse as well. Like, it's not only,
No, it's not. And I feel as women, we really need to support them right now, more so than ever, to allow them to open, as I said before, and allow them to express themselves where they've been shut down pretty much their whole lives. Little boys, you always got to be the tough one. You can't express, you can't let go, you can't release, you can't be in who you are. So I feel, releasing that, right now, and bringing in all that energy of opening that space for that masculine to heal.
Well, I'm seeing planet Earth, and she's opened with wounds, and she's fragment and split when you said that. So that's the vision that I'm getting for the healing for this, to send beautiful golden energy and green and pink and blue and yellow and all colors of the rainbow. And we're just resealing that healing hurt wound for the planet with the masculine energies. Just with that visual alone, just then, seeing it fragment out in pieces, and then see the planet form beautifully like that with the gold and the pink and the green and then just rainbow energies. That itself alone, right now, we are all co-creating with a pure divine healing for the planet. Every time I get on air, I take an opportunity to do a global healing. I don't let one moment of any airplay that teaching people, thank you too, that is how we do it. There is nobody that is better than anyone else in doing this certain course and doing this certain this event, that is going to be any more important or powerful than you and me right here. And people seem to put others on pedestals with this and that. No, it's not like that. This is it. This is the global meditation. This is the divine healing right now, globally for the whole planet, you and me. This is how you're contributing right now. We just got to show up and be who you are. That's enough.
And it is. And we're in it together, and we have to be together to be in the energy to co-create this new freaking world.
Thank you. The only way we're going to send is by new unity. It's not going to happen individually. We need to unite, to come together. Spirit was very wise. The big plan was very wise, saying, you know what, you lot are going to have to unite, because source is source. We're all creator gods. We're all a fleck of source that's gone out. So how can we unite separate? We've got to bring it in, because we're healing God as well, Mother, Father, God.
Yes.
That's between, we are healing Mother, Father, God as well. We are healing and helping angels and so many other light beings to heal through our human experience, because not everybody, the clarion call was put out. And I often talk about the clarion call, and Patricia Robles in part 2, the clarion call was put out and we are showing up. So I just want to thank everybody here for showing up and being you. So I'm just doing a little prayer, because I'm looking at the time. I'm going to wind up for myself with this.
Yes.
I know we've still got time, but the Tibetan energies came in this morning. The Tibetan energies came in. So we're just doing a little Om Mani Padme Hum. And if we just close our eyes and we internalize that, and my voice will change, because I do it to myself, of Om Mani Padme Hum. It's like a breath of fresh air when we slow down and just do that one to ourselves. And if our head is going around in circles of old loops, if we do the Om Mani Padme Hum, we can feel that tuning and going down all our energy centers. Is a very gentle, simple way. There are so many tools that we can use to help ourselves deal with the energies, and that's just another one. So
thank you.
Much more to share. There's much more going on, so I'm just going to take a little breather just to readjust. There was a lot of healing just then, to recalibrate
and feel into that.
The upgrades coming through right now, because we've been very wobbly and unstable. There's so much exhaustion, overwhelm and burnout, and big old ancient abandonment energies that we just broke through, and the energies were weird, and I went for about 7 days straight. Surprise, surprise. Had to do with the planetary reboot and the videos I did and you and I did, and I wrote in my last post, it's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. It's time for us to do some bit of rock and roll. And
thank everyone for the beautiful comments. Let's see, Rhonda, thank you both. Love you and blessings. Thank you all for being here. Thanks, Matt. Bless you. Thank you so much. Pulsing beautifully. Many men haven't felt they can speak up. So there's a few things that popped up. So thank you for all the comments and sharing. And, you know, your part, I mean, this show is part of you guys too. We're all together in this. So sharing everything. So much appreciation, gratitude for everybody who's tuning in and commenting and sharing this show and this beautiful time together in unity, in love and joy and bubbles.
Absolutely. Big healing. It's a big upgrade happening.
It is.
You know, to handle the energies as being the yoga, you know, is to laugh, as that what we do, lighten up.
Yes.
The humor, the laughing, because it's just so insane that I have I had laughter fits where tears are just pouring out my eyes because it's so nuts.
And you snort.
It's just, oh yeah, got to snort. Okay, dragons are humming and buzzing. So I was guided to pull a rune. May I share?
Sure.
Yes, thank you. And the rune that came was stand still. And the rune is called Isa, and it says Isa requires a sacrifice of the personal, the I. At such a time, you cannot hope to rely on help or friendly support. There is no reason for anxiety. And what that means is at the moment you need to rely on yourself because others are battling and struggling away to cope themselves. So it's about we need to trust ourselves, and trust ourselves.
Yes.
Submit and be still, for what you're experiencing is not necessarily the result of your actions or habits, but it rather arises from conditions about which you can do nothing. Now, this is absolutely is what's happening. I'm needing to recreate and replan everything I'm doing in every facet and
thank you,
platform at the moment of how I'm bringing the information through. So that is a mirror, because I'm a mirror for you. In everything I say, what is it for you? And it's saying surrender is to display courage and wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's talking about as it's a time for going within, it's a time of restoration and renewal at the deepest level. So exercise caution not to stubbornly persist in attempting to work your will. Remain mindful that the seed of the new is present in the shell of the old. I love that.
That's beautiful.
Gosh, I love that one. Every time I love that one. The seed of the new is present in the shell of the old.
Can you share that again?
What has been full must be empty. What has increased must decrease. This is a time of restoration and renewal. Remaining mindful that the seed of the new is present in the shell of the old. The seed of unrealized potential, the seed of the good. Trust your own process and watch for signs of spring.
Oh, I love that. Thank you for saying that.
Refeeling it.
Yeah,
embodying it.
Into it.
You needed to feel that one. So,
yeah.
Wow, and we've got a wow and a boom, because at the moment, as I'm saying, we need to replan everything. We are going through bullshitting ourselves, giving ourselves a head job, self-sabotage, what you said, self-fuckery. You know, we're in a phase of end of old karmic loops and many bubbles of old third dimensional energies until one closes that loop to shift that facet of the fifth dimensional energies. It's quite complicated and complex. I'm breaking this down as best I can here of the facets, like the old of putting things into boxes of the head and not wanting to feel so we can organize with the head is not working. This cannot be repeated. Many are doing this and they've admitted to, I just push that away and I'll feel that later. I'll go do something else. Yeah. That's emotionally bypassing or self-fuckery.
Yes. Yeah. And we need to feel right now. We really need to move through those energies. We have to step in.
Oh, we're against the wall, got nowhere else to go. And I keep saying to one, you're against the wall, you have nowhere else to go from here. You were warned, you were let know previously. All year I've been sharing, and for the last 5-6 years I've been writing. And it's good for me to share that what I've been writing, those loops are finishing, because I can't rewrite all the words that have been said. We're in beyond energies now.
Yes. And
it's here. What a relief. But this is victory for us, that we have reached critical mass. We need to be happy. Yes. We need to be excited underneath, deep within, with all the other shit that we're still purging and going through. Keep your faith and trust. And I often say, if you don't have enough faith and trust, I've got enough for all of us. And I know you do too. Yes. Because my faith and trust has kept me alive. So many times I could have died over and over in blazing the trail, and I'm still fucking here. You too, in all the blazes and the trials that everyone else is going through as well. I thank people. When they thank me, I go, thank you.
Yes. And always remember too, you're not alone.
Oh, what's that? I say that less and less now. Absolutely. Okay. Yes. No way are you alone. Someone else said the other day, I've been doing this stuff since the 60s. And she wrote on Laurie Ladd's post. And I said, sister, I said, you're not the only one. Because she was in her alone space. And, I'm sick of this. When I'm going, tell me about it. We've been sick of this shit for so long that this is our time to get excited. This is time to celebrate. This is good times. Yes, it's tough. Yes, whatever. But you're not on your own. We're making progress. We've reached critical mass. We've reached it.
And also, people are waking up in that critical mass. So those people before that maybe you were afraid to speak your truth with or say something, they might surprise you now. If you speak your truth and come out of that bubble where you've been
good on you.
And then all of a sudden you're like, yeah, I saw this, or this has happened, or I'm feeling this, or I saw a spirit, or whatever the hell comes up. People are talking now.
Yes.
Like
yes.
Before.
Yes.
So don't stay back in that energy anymore. It's time to come out, and you can always just step back if they're not there, but be the cosmic explorers and take that step out of your own comfort zone and see what magic you can create.
And be the new ascending earth masters, linking your cosmic exploring into your human embodiment by feeling as new ascending earth masters. We're learning to master that cosmic exploring energy into mastering into the human body.
Correct. And remember too, where you began. So the people that have been on the path for a while, they know, but remember these people that are just waking up. And remember where you were when you first woke up. You were terrified. Like, what the hell's happening?
Oh, that's such a good point.
In that space that they need everyone out there to be who they are, in the truth of who they are, and not be afraid to express with the feelings in their heart and spread that love from their heart out and be in that space of love. The shadow will always be there, and we'll always look at the shadow. We're always going to be cleaning no matter what, but that's okay.
Whatever.
Because we've been through that nightmare. We've been through that roller coaster ride. Now is the time to stand and shine and take that 50-50 so we can start to be at, 60-80 and move that teeter-totter we're on right now to the other side, because this is the time to make that shift, and it's happening.
Well, that has happened. Critical mass has happened. We've gone to 51 and beyond. It has happened. It has happened. It is the greatest news. And when we did the last videos, and then I saw the videos with Patricia Cota-Robles part 2, and she spoke, and I felt the divine saying we reached critical mass, and I just wrote, we have reached critical mass. Please take a moment to bring this into consciousness. Because everyone's going through a lot, I understand, there's another update, we reached critical mass, keep going. No, stop. We have reached critical mass. We're going through a whole planetary reboot. We've never reached this before. This has been planned for eons and eons. We've been waiting for this time. If we don't stop and breathe and take this into our consciousness, you're going to miss the roses and smelling them along the way. You've got to stop and smell the roses. You're just beaming after sharing that. That was so beautiful. That was so beautiful. I loved it. I'm going, you go, you in your preacher mode, sister. That was awesome. I loved it. I just sat back and just took it. That was so
good every once in a while.
I know the passion, honey. I know. But you were spot on about, I keep saying to just be you. Please just speak up and just be you. That person really is waiting for you to speak up.
Yes.
And you'd be surprised. So it was really good hearing you say that.
Yeah. And talking about the critical mass, it's looking at the world in new eyes. Like it's a whole new playground to create.
Yes.
A whole new playground that we've never played on before. So have fun with it. Don't look at all the nonsense bullshit that's out there.
I know. That's
it. With people and see what you can do and what you can create, what you can bring in. And it's, Woohoo!
Oh, fucking hell.
You got me fired up tonight, sister.
Oh, it's so good. Well, see, it's my daytime, so I can't do them in the afternoon or night because of absolutely no sleep. I process 24/7 as it is. That's why I don't do them in the afternoon. So I was really happy when you said it was 5 p.m. your time and 10 a.m. my time. I said, that works for me. Yeah. It gives me hours and hours to process and everything. So, I just want to say thank you for everyone for all being here. We are in such momentous times that, what people in the 50s and 60s and all the other centuries struggled for that weren't heard, and the abuse and worse energies and times that we've got so much freedom. energetically compared to those times, and it's time to celebrate. And we just send a vibrational healing out to all our ancestors right now. And the Anangu, I can see the Aboriginal, the Black Aboriginal elder has just come in right now. I can see his face with that fuzzy grey hair. He's just come in to join us. What a blessing and an honor to bless this energy space that has just come in. We call them the Aboriginals, but they are the original first inhabitants to the planet, that I have a past life that I was of the black skin. I actually remember being birthed into that skin going, and the shock of I'd lost my angel wings. So I never thought I'd share that live, but I just did. I remember I have a memory of that. So we have been blessed by the tribal elders of the Aboriginals of Australia that has come to join us at the end to finish this off. What a blessing. See him sitting in front of us. There is a picture that I've seen that I might share, but Spirit has come to us. Wow. That's beautiful in the group right now, the group energy.
Woo.
And they're chanting and doing their tribal.
Yes.
So you do what you need to do with finding out.
Ground that in right now. Put your hand on your heart and ground that energy into your beingness right now.
Good one, and I'll just keep bringing it through. Thank you, sister. He's here. The original energies first to the planet. This is ancient old.
Receive it.
Ancient old energies coming through. There we go. Anchoring in. There's the emerald energy out. There we go. Emerald, 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 emerald. Shed a tear, Paul said. Humble, beautiful, breathing it in. Yes, feeling it, beautiful energy there. Now the messages coming through left, right, and center. We're going in a minute.
I know. We've got a couple minutes left. Isn't that how it always is?
Yeah. And I know when people don't ask questions, because I've asked before, and I know you were offering them to me, and I know what you were doing. I know that I've asked them, and when they don't, they go, I'm too busy feeling the energies. I can't take my eyes off, and I'm feeling it. So when people don't ask, I go,
when you're out with the camera and you're in the moment, and everyone's like, take a picture. And I want to be in the moment. I don't want to take a damn picture. Awesome. Well, it looks like we got to round it up. We're at 8:57, so we're going to have to say goodbye for the night. Anastacia, it has been the utmost pleasure this evening. Thank you so much.
I've had so much fun.
And thank all the ancestors that came through and everyone who has listened now in the future. Much love to all of you and gratitude, and keep on swimming. We've all got this. We have all got this. And if you like the show, you can I do the what is it? Subscribe below if you're on YouTube.
Yeah, go. Ready, go. Do it. Do your sales pitch. Go.
Whatever that nonsense is. God, this technology crap, I tell you. So, yes. And if do you have anything to share before we close out the show? And she'll be back in November sometime. I'll be on next week if you want to join me, and I'll be doing.
I would like to thank everyone that's here as part of the 144 energies of the planet and you ascending Earth masters that are showing up. That this is so powerful, us being here. Our numbers are less because our energies are so great. Thank you.
Yes. Beautiful way. Thank you, everyone. Love you all. Oh, Diana loved my bubbles, so I will do more bubbles just for you, Diana. Mwah. Thank you. Sending love to you all. Have a wonderful evening, night, day, whatever it is in your time when you're listening. Blessings.
Bye.
Bye.